back on another exciting episode of Starfleet Sohail, where we have a casual and informal conversation about Star Trek. Today we're focused on Star Trek, the animated series, and we're discussing the Jihad. Welcome back,
7 months
gentlemen.
late or something.
Yeah, it's like 7 months later. It's true. We're not in any kind of rush over here, but we are going to start coming back weekly. So we're going to get through the next 6 weeks of the animated series and then move on to Deep Space Nine. I'm very excited. But welcome back. Nice to see you, Aaron, our sub commander, and Fathery. Thanks for joining me today. And also, really nice to see the audience. We already have 10 folks watching. Oh my gosh, that's really amazing.
Nice.
Thank you. Thanks for showing up, guys. It's really
like
cool.
in the episode, it's like no time had passed.
Yeah,
last time.
It's true.
What are you talking about, Adam? We were just doing one of these streams like 2
Last
minutes
week?
ago.
Yeah. 2 minutes ago. Yeah.
Oh, now I have to hold on. I have to.
Now nobody will see it. We have to redo them all.
By the way, today we're streaming on. I still call it Twitter. I'm sorry, I refuse to call it X.
Yeah.
But we're also streaming on Twitter today, so that's exciting. So if you're there, give us a shout out and say hello. I think I can see everyone on my panel here that says hello. But before we get to that, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. So yes, we have been gone for 7 some odd. It's actually been more like 8 months or 9 months. Really,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it has. It's been a long time. Time flies when you're disappeared into a space mission for like that everyone else thinks is 2 months. But yeah, so we've been gone, but we're back now. We're going to be streaming pretty regularly, and then Friday nights after Text Track, we're going to do Starfleet Sohail After Dark, which I'm thinking of just calling the After Dark Show, because Starfleet Sohail After Dark doesn't sound as cool as the After Dark Show. So we might just call it that. So we'll see. But we hope everyone will join us for those. So let's go ahead and get started. Who wants to do the episode summary for this one?
Oh, let me do it because I
All
can't do
right,
it quick. So the episode opens with Kirk and Spock being summoned to a planet by the Vidalans, an ancient race of cat people who have taken upon themselves to kind of be custodians of galactic peace. I guess they're dealing with like some big picture issues, and they see that there is the warrior bird people, the Score, who look a hell of a lot like the Aurelians, and I'm sure we'll have a lot
Not exactly the same. No.
Not exactly the same, but a hell of a lot like them.
I remember
Michael
when
and Niso Kuda confused me with their text commentary on the 2005 DVD that mislabeled the Aurelian as the same species as the Score, and then Aaron Harvey, writer of the official guide to Star Trek the Animated Series, had to correct me.
I also remember Aaron being like all on top of it when Lower Decks had them, and I was like, "Oh, cool." Good.
That is literally the basis of the Star Trek Adventures supplement that we wrote. It hangs on that idea, and it built from there. So thankfully, we did have that conversation because it actually helped a lot.
But the cat people are freaking out because the bird people are about to freak out. The bird people, their religious leader, his soul, his memory has been stored in this artifact called the soul of the Score. It's like their most holiest relic, and it has been stolen. And if they learn about this, they will birth an army of religious warrior zealots.
200 billion in 2 years, which is crazy.
So I'm pretty sure that when what was it, Stephen Kendall, the Harry Mudd guy? How do you say his name?
Stephen Kendall.
Kendall,
yeah, the guy who writes all the Harry Mudd. So he's probably like reading Dune in the 60s and 70s, and he's writing this. But yeah, like a big space jihad gonna wipe out everyone. So major concern. So we got the brilliant Spock, the great leader Kirk, all these other characters, all these other random aliens. We got a warrior lizard man. We got an insect dude, pickpocket, burglar. We got this holy warrior Shar, one of the bird people, the Score, and the lady who wants the barbarian lady who wants to sleep with Kirk.
Laura,
yeah,
yeah,
a very exotic name.
She wants to have green memories. I
can remember M3 Green, but I couldn't remember Laura. But they go on this mission to the Mad Planet to retrieve the stolen soul of the Score, and they're dealing with all kinds of extreme temperatures and volcanoes erupting and mechanical pterodactyl attack monsters. and eventually they make it to the soul of this is like this glowing energy ribbon thing. And this object is like, oh, look, we finally found the holy relic, the MacGuffin of the story. And then Shar is like, oh, not so fast. It was actually I who stole it because I want my people to unite in this holy war and go conquer the universe. And then they have to have a zero gravity fight with him, but they succeed. They capture him. They capture the soul. They go back to Vidala, the Vidalan cat lady, and she's like, thank you. We will fix this insane bird and make him sane and whole again. And y'all all go back to where you came from, and no green memories for you, Laura. In fact, no memories for anyone. You're all gonna forget all of this, and that's the
Too
end of the
bad.
episode.
I love. She's like, too bad. I love
Yeah,
Laura.
yeah, missed opportunity there, Laura, but you'll get over it.
And I'm glad that it wasn't Majel Barrett for once, because like that added some like just fun to it.
Who was it? It was a different actor, right? Like all
Jane
together?
Webb.
Jane Webb.
She was. She did like what is it? The Fantastic Voyage cartoon. She was one of the scientist lady on that. But yeah, because Majel Barrett was having morning sickness with Rod, so she couldn't record.
We got some more. We got vocal variety with the women characters in the animated series because of Rod Roddenberry. That was his first contribution to the franchise. So if I see him at Vegas this year, I will.
Yeah, you have to.
I will let him know.
Very nice. Well, what did you think of this episode, guys? We'll start with you, Father, and then maybe Sub Commander can do a mic check afterwards and see how it's going.
Thank you.
Sure. I've liked this episode for a lot of odd reasons. It's not a great episode of Star Trek, but it sure is fun for me to watch. It's just of all the animated series episodes, I like that they're pretty restrained. You know, they were making Star Trek. They weren't making Saturday morning cartoons. They were making Star Trek. Except this episode, it feels more like a Saturday morning cartoon than an episode of Star Trek. But I'm okay with that. I like that. Just like seeing them all like ride around in that weird ground vehicle. Like, yeah, this feels like I'm just watching like some random cartoon from the 70s or even 80s. It feels like a little like ahead of its time in some ways, you know. But the story is it's very contrived. It's very like there were like 3 attempts to do this and they all failed, and it was like, what Shar, were you like sabotaging all of these, or like what's going?
Yeah.
Like a lot of it kind of doesn't make sense. Like,
There's some logic issues with the episode, yes.
but overall, it's fun. It's a fun break from typical TAS. I feel like it's a fun atypical episode. You know, sometimes you got to go back in time to the 30s and hang out with a bunch of people in New York in 20th century Earth. So sometimes it's good to break format.
Indeed. Joel in the audience is saying, to me, this is The Hobbit. M3 Green is Bilbo. That's what I said earlier. I thought the same thing. I was like, he's kind of like a Bilbo, the burglar anyways.
I mean, it is like Gandalf putting a party together. Me and Joel just watched this in the Text Trek Discord. So if anyone wants to watch these episodes before we talk about them on Starfleet Boy, we can we can watch them in Discord together.
That's a good idea.
I couldn't do that this week. I had a photo shoot, but I will start doing that. That's very exciting.
But you kind of get that impression when the Vidalan is summoning everyone. It is Gandalf in the opening of The Hobbit. Like, okay, I got these dwarves. We're putting together a mission.
Hey, Talc JM, nice to see you. But yeah, it totally has Dungeons and Dragons, Hobbit vibes, stuff like that. Also, there's like a ton of like interesting information about the score with Alar and like their past and stuff like that. I thought that was really neat, and just the whole fact that the Vidal are the oldest spacefaring race. Oh, we lost Aaron. He'll be back. He got
Alar,
zapped.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Alar.
I couldn't think of his name, but
Alar took him. There he is. Sub Commander, are you ready, or should we go to Aaron?
Well, you tell me. Jill is saying I sound like I'm in a tunnel. Is that still the case, or
no?
Kind
to
of?
me, you sound good. There's just like a slight echo, like if the room, like you hear the room echo, but I don't know if.
Yeah, I think it's coming through. Well, I mean, if I can, if it sounds okay, I'll just talk. If it sounds
we can
not
understand
great,
you.
I'll just join from the phone.
Go
Okay.
for it.
Yeah, so this is the first time I had ever seen this episode. I just watched it before this stream began. And yeah, I would agree with Father. I'm not sure it's a great episode of Star Trek per se, but it was fun, and I do like the Fellowship of the Ring kind of vibe after the Council of Elrond at the beginning. And actually, what I did like, and they didn't quite execute it this way, but there was when we got to the end, and it was clear Char was the bad guy, and but he wanted to go back to this martial warlike past. It reminded me a little bit of Star Trek 6 with "You do prefer it this way," as it was meant to be,
Oh,
and
very
like just
good.
being
Yeah.
unable to give up on these warlike instincts. I mean, in
I
this
thought
episode, they treated it like he was just crazy. It's his insanity. But I sort of like that idea of like you're trying to do the right thing, but just some part of you wants to do the, go back to your instincts. So
That's a good reference. I thought about Star Trek 3, like especially when like Kirk is saving Spock from falling down that, from the lava or whatever and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I thought about and the unstable planet, the Mad Planet. By the way, is Mad Planet related to Murder Planet? Is that like are they cousin planets perhaps or something like that?
It could be the same planet. This could be the Hirogen world, couldn't it?
Oh,
I suppose in
interesting.
theory.
We
I think
don't
we
know.
mentioned that, didn't we? When that came out, I thought on our stream we'd said something like that.
Oh,
we
you guys
talked
might have.
about- Well, we were
Yeah.
talking Prodigy, maybe.
Right, but I thought you mentioned like this planet at the same time.
Ah,
Maybe I'm
very
imagining
cool.
that.
Aaron, what did you think of this episode?
Yeah, it's one of those like it's fun. It doesn't make a lot of sense if you really think about it, because he's what's his name? The score, T'Char,
Char.
seems to be kind of working against his own interests at times when he could have just like not said anything and no one would have found it. It's just like my question is, I wonder if he didn't even know where it was, and that was part of the problem because the planet is constantly shifting and changing. Or something like that. Yeah, but no, and it has that fun, like it's a D&D vibe. In fact, we've used it for the Star Trek Adventures. There's a lot of bits and pieces of that made it into the game because it is like a game. We've got you can play on the Mad Planet and stuff like that, so which is kind of fun. And we kind of did figure out the score a little bit more about why they are what they are, and the soul of Alar is basically kind of like a Katra, but for many people,
Right.
so
yeah, they talked about that whole thing of like like making him immortal by putting his memory. I think that I feel like that's a concept that like was pretty advanced for like when this cartoon came out. Yeah,
that felt like
It's just
Landru to me a little bit. When I first heard that, I was thinking, oh, it's Landru. It's this
Landru,
guy
right,
that they
right.
really liked and was a visionary, and that they try to make an artificial version, and maybe it's not going to work out. I mean, it didn't go that way, but that's what it made me think.
It also felt to me like this is a religion that might be less familiar to you, but it was a bit more modern in history. It was a bit more recent, kind of like in comparison in real world of like there's more historical documentation of Muhammad because he was doing things more recently than some of the older religious figures in history.
Well, yeah, basically Alar was alive when Zephyr Cochrane was taking the ship out.
Right.
So that's we've got that more modern history that we have of this whole thing that happened.
It was like 200. What did they say? Like 200 years ago, right? So yeah, that's interesting. That's when that was happening.
21st. So our century that we're in now.
Right now,
so by the time we actually meet them, they're not as violent. It sounds like
because of think Alar.
There's a Gen Z college kid named Zephram working on warp theory right now somewhere.
That's crazy.
Maybe these bird people, I forget their name, but maybe their lifespan is only like 5 years or something. So it seems like generations ago.
No, they actually are fairly long lived, apparently.
Oh, okay.
How many eggs do they lay? Like
a lot.
I mean, it's considering like a lot of creatures can mature pretty rapidly. A lot of animals are fully grown in less than a year. So if you can have like a warrior go from an egg to like a fully adult soldier ready to fight in less than a year, you can build up your army pretty quick.
Yeah, it's true. I do like how Spock responded with like, the warrior races of the Federation will rise up against you, and I'm like, who? Like, I guess the Andorians, right? Yeah,
it's
and then like
old man Shran in the nursing home somewhere. Like, I'm ready. Like, give me my plasma rifle. I'm ready to go to war.
That's funny.
Well, I really like this episode too. I kind of share all the same sentiments, and and again, it was just fun. I think that's the thing about it is that. And I didn't know who the saboteur was. I was like still guessing till that last shot from like up high. I was like, oh, I wonder, who it could be. I actually thought it would be what's the reptilian? What was his name?
Sword.
Not
Sword.
Sword. Thank
Sword.
you.
Yeah.
Sword. SORD. I spelled it
Right.
wrong in my notes.
That would be a good Vulcan name though. SORD.
Yeah,
Mhm.
S or and we put in the apostrophe in there.
There's so many
Sword.
good. There's so many good lines in this. We'll go over them as we go through the screenshots. But yeah, it's just like
I like
you
the
know,
dialogue. Yeah.
yeah, like especially Lara. She like I'm
Yeah.
like totally all about her. We were talking about Doctor
Reminds me
Who
of
earlier.
Keela yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah. She looks like her too. It's like, but I think
right.
she was first actually. She was before for Taylor.
Oh
on the
wow,
show.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. This would have been out in '74.
Yep.
This episode would
Or
air
70
in, like
yeah,
spring of
74.
'74, I think.
Yeah.
Well, let's
January
crack into it.
12th, 1974. I got Memory Alpha up.
Okay.
Very nice. I love
At this point,
shot.
all the dates are sort of merged together for me, so I can't tell you.
But Aaron, I think you can confirm some of these ships are designs from the Beyond the Farthest Star, like all the ancient
no,
relic
from
ships.
the
That's
Time
right.
Trap.
Oh, they're from
Time
the
Trap.
Time Trap.
Time
Okay.
Trap.
Yeah. But they were originally designed for Beyond the Farthest Star, and that Gene just like nope, just like give no direction, but just like do another one. So that's why there's so many weird varieties of ships and stuff. And it was only halfway through that he said, "Oh no, an alien ship." It's like, well, that would have been helpful to know up front, you know. It's
Right,
like-
that one on the left there looks kind of Federation-y.
yeah,
Yeah, with those nacelles. I like that pointed Buzzard collector, which is something that Bill Krause does for his TOS era models.
Mhm.
He has them shaped more like, kind of like a cone rather than
Mhm.
Yeah,
a
I
cap.
actually watched the TOS episode where No Man Has Gone Before this morning, and I was watching like the remastered version on Paramount Plus with the CGI from 2006 or whatever. And yeah, I was seeing the pointed nacelles on there. They did that on the remastered for No Man Has Gone Before. They left them pointy on that, and the same with the cage.
Right on. Yeah, I think they're very cool.
Yep.
Which one do you think is which species ships do you think are which? Well, the green one's probably M's.
M3 green, right?
Yeah,
You would-
M3 green, yeah.
If we're going by color, then the one with yellow must be Char's
yeah.
ship.
Yeah, that makes
Right.
sense.
I think it's the one on the right it would be what's her name? Oh my gosh, I just forgot her
Laura?
name. Laura, thank you.
Laura.
Lara Croft.
It's still early on the Saturday for me. It feels.
I think the one on the right might be Swords because it looks more alien
Oh,
and exotic. It
yeah.
looks like something a dinosaur might drive.
Well, there's two green ships, I think. So one could be one
Aren't
could
they
be
connected?
his. No, it looks like they're two separate ones. No,
Hmm.
I have to
Yeah.
zoom in.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's the one thing. It's like the it's the
Like a
neck
tendril
or
or
something.
something.
Yeah. That is
Or they
actually
have
the
that
same.
32nd century
The
unconnected.
detached nacelles. That
I have
Very
some of
cool.
the sketches of
complain
that.
about but I like that.
That's right. I remember you acquired that. That's cool. And here's the
This is great.
council
Council of
getting
Elrond.
together.
Feels very like what is it? Justice League, Legion of Doom, whatever it is.
Oh,
like,
yeah. When they meet in the Darth Vader head in the swamp.
So,
Right.
that's right. So the Vidala, like, was that one in that one Kazinti episode? Was that older, like the telepath of Vidala, or what's the like? 'cause they look
No.
this. Oh, okay.
No, they're just a different species.
With the same.
And you also can kind of see like their ears are different because the Kazinti have sort of like those bat-like ears that can fold back.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you're right. I'll get a close up. I think I have a close up somewhere. Let's see. Oh no, I got these two. I I love
nice.
the character designs.
It would be nice if they could have taken the time to, explain like all the bird people are Aurelians and all of our lizard people are going to be the Gorn, except for these other lizard people that are distinctly
Yeah.
different because of X, Y, and Z. But they didn't do that, so we just have a bunch of different bird people, a bunch of different cat people, a bunch of different lizard people.
That's where beta canon comes in.
Mhm.
What did in beta canon or outside of this did they even establish what species sword is in this episode, or they just say sword, I think, and then they move on and
I think they
It's
just
assumed-
call him a a saurian of some kind.
Or some kind. Okay,
Ooh,
cool.
the makers of
Saurian.
brandy.
Ooh,
They make the brandy. That's where it comes from.
it's
These
true.
guys.
It's got to be
Related
that.
to
It's true.
Linus.
Oh yeah, he does look more like a saurian than he like, especially the disco saurians. I
Mhm.
think. Yeah, very cool. Very very cool. Um, here they are. Their name's Shar. I spelled that wrong. It's Tishar, right? Sword, Lara, M3 Green, Kirk, and Spock. That's our group here that we've got going on. There they are.
What's the
Are
name
there
of the one in purple, the cat thing, or the what's it,
the
Vidalia?
Vidalia.
I don't think they gave their name, right?
No, they didn't get a name.
Well, it looks like, you know, how I feel after being on the computer for a while. You know, that terrible posture.
That's true. There's Lara. I love her. I want to see her live action. Like, where could she appear? I guess she could appear on Strange New Worlds.
I think, I mean, she totally could. She would be alive in the. I mean, like Strange New World season 3 will probably be set, you know, less than 10 years before this episode takes place. So
She's
her
just
planet
be like a young person. Yeah.
Her planet has very few men apparently, so they let you know if you're attractive to them, which I love. She's like, so I think you're pretty hot, Kirk. What do you think of me?
She could
Now
basically be Troy's mom. Just come on the
She
ship
could-
and just start
she could
trying
totally
to
be.
make with all the men. Yeah.
So she's human, but I guess she believes in the
Humanoid.
7 gods. Yeah, humanoid. But they all called her human, and then she says something to Kirk later, like humans
Yeah.
like us or something like that. I forget. So I assumed that she's from like one of those weird colonies that just decided like we're a theme, like, you know, like
theme
Renaissance
colony.
fair or whatever. Like, yeah, we're like, or whatever. So in her case, it's like the barbarian like themed colony or whatever. But yeah, they believe in like 7 gods and
they
stuff.
were like
so
a bunch of like Wonder Woman fans, and they're like, we're gonna go
Yeah.
have our own like Themyscira.
They're from Themyscira. Yes, exactly.
It's gonna be
That's the
Amazon
planet.
warrior women.
And they don't really
Indeed.
like Vulcans apparently because they're cold-blooded critters. I think
Yeah,
that's what she called them.
cold-blooded critters.
Even
do
the
kinda
ancient
like that.
species, though.
I was,
Go ahead, sorry.
sorry. I was just going to say, I do kind of like that. You heard a couple different voices. It wasn't all. I know we just talked about Major Barrett couldn't provide the voices, but they got this other woman, I guess, who did a lot for Filmation. But then I read earlier that it was David Gerald who did the voice for the little green guy for
Yeah.
EM3. Is that right? That's fascinating.
Yep. And then he said immediately after he was finished, he came up with a better voice idea. Like they wouldn't let him re-record it. So
I think he was. I think he was perfect though. He made that character seem like the perfect, you know, sniveling little weasel that I think the script was asking for.
That's true. He did.
You kind of feel sorry for him at times, but then he's like so pathetic. It's just like, come on, dude. Like,
Yeah.
don't be a martyr. Just come on.
This is
Come
where
on,
they
this.
get the beryllium sphere.
Oh my god, they hit the thing that goes back, makes you forget
Yeah,
everything. It's like so
13 or whatever.
yeah, that's so funny. Which, by the way, you guys are talking about it next week on Text Trek. Check that out. And last night we talked about the USS Callister, the Black Mirror episode on Netflix on Text Trek.
Really
I'm
sounds
sorry
like it's
I
gonna be a
missed that.
spin-off or something.
We talked about that
show?
last night, as a matter of fact.
a lot of people think that, but then like when you try to Google like official confirmation on it, there's not anything. It's
Nothing.
just like a bunch of like clickbait articles.
But often that's how things get started anyways. So who knows now, all this attention we're giving it might actually start.
When we talked about like the logistics of like how would you actually do this as a TV show, like with these actors on a television budget, it's like the more you think about it, the more
USS Callister Legacy.
But
The next generation. Yes, Callister.
Oh
and then,
my!
And then reboot it with Beastie Boys and younger actors.
So then, what I didn't understand was, I guess they were instantly transported to the Mad Planet after this, right? Because they're on the Vidian. Okay, got it. Okay, so yeah, that's
Oh yeah, the
kinda like what happened.
Vidalans came in their asteroid.
Vidalans.
Apparently. That's how they traveled.
Yeah, they have their whole ship's an asteroid. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
It's like a giant. It's like a sphere. It's cool. But here we have this. Like, whose crafts are these? Like, I guess the Vidalin craft. They're Vidalin craft,
Maybe,
or yeah, because they
Or
didn't look like
someone
Federation tech.
the other party, the previous party that came here.
Oh gosh, that's they just
They all
died when they
died.
arrived. Like they were like.
It almost looks like something that the Prodigy would build in their the automatic.
I actually
shipbuilding
thought
machine.
about Star Trek Prodigy a lot during this episode. Yeah, I agree. So it's
And
pretty
if this
cool.
was made now, that would be a toy. Well, maybe not now because they don't seem to be too great about that either. But in another franchise, this would have been a toy immediately, like the truck, the car, and little figures and
Just very toy
Exactly.
toyetic. Yeah.
Joel says that vehicle seems like it is designed to be a toy, just like
Yep.
you said. Very Star Wars or He-Man. Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah,
The
He-Man
Thundercats-
definitely fits
the
that.
Thundercats had the Thunder tank.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of looked like that they'd
Mm.
drive around in. I never had the toy, but I watched the cartoon.
Jill wants to know, what did Laura kill to make that necklace?
Some of them with a bunch of teeth.
Yeah.
Or it's claws. I don't know. They could be claws, I guess.
It's true. Who knows? It's another dragon. There's a lot of dragons in the animated series, so like, who knows?
I love
But
this
yeah.
shot here. It's like, oh, we're just going out. We're going to Safeway to pick up some groceries.
High winds. Later it becomes like showers of fire.
Yeah.
Like all kinds of things.
What is Sword thinking to sit there in
Rain.
the back, just like got these humans and this Vulcan and this bug guy, and he's just like, what the hell am I doing with my life? I used to be like a serious reptilian. How'd I end up here?
Road trip.
Benji says, all I see is the Flintstones car.
Yeah, it is bizarre. You stop and look at this, and you're like, how is this in Star Trek? Like, what the hell am I staring at? But
At least, I mean, the way it's kind of put together, you can kind of see how it was supposed to be able to go over other terrain and stuff like that.
Right.
It has some thought put into it, at least.
It feels like there should be a tread going all the way back from the front to the back. But I
Yeah.
guess not, yeah. But here's some shots of the planet. You got the crystal structures. You've got that like who called it a tent? Like a
Like a circus tent.
like a circus
Yeah.
tent.
yeah, I'm expecting to see like Dumbo and his mom like entertaining the crowd in there or something. You know, that's what it looks like.
I like the shot of the lava flow, which by
Yeah.
the way is, I
Yeah.
guess it's like pyro. What is it called? Like whatever those flows are. that-
Pyroclastic.
Pyroclastic, thank you. They like flow really fast too. So yeah, I guess that's what this is.
Yeah,
This
you don't
planet's
wanna see
like
that
it is a
chasing you.
mad.
That's kind of a cool shot, too. They at least did some different angles and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You
And then
really
they
do
show
get a
all
lot.
of them twice. They want to get their bang for their buck. So all the- any shot that has lava moving, I'm pretty sure you see at least twice in this episode. the
It's
same
true,
shot.
or 3 times sometimes.
I think
It's
we
great.
mentioned it, but like Gene, that was his thing. He's like, "Oh, now that it's animated, we can do lava." And he's saying it to everything. I'm just like, okay. I think at one point Dorothy's like, "This doesn't need lava."
But
How
after
can we
this,
get lava on the Enterprise?
We don't get lava again in Star Trek until 1984, 10 years later. So
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
they
Lots
had
of
to,
lava
they had
there.
to saturate us with lava here and make it.
They had a
last.
Well, does
river of lava that.
No, it's sulfur on Vulcan. I was like, "Is that
That's right.
lava?" No.
That's funny. Do we get lava again in TNG? I guess we do, right? On what is her name? Sharzenka's planet.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever her planet.
Zarzhenka?
What was her name? The pen pal? Sharzenka,
Yeah.
I think, or something like that. I forget.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one. I haven't seen a lot of TNG. I have not watched since like before COVID, before Star Trek Picard was a thing. I need to get back around to TNG someday soon.
You do. Which reminds me, you guys can go check out our TNG discussion series, which we've done all the episodes. There's one episode that's hidden, but I'll leave y'all to find that. If you find out which episode is hidden, I will send you a link to it so you can watch it. My goddaughter was just like a kid when I did that one, and people were leaving weird comments, so I felt like I should remove that episode. So, because the internet can't have nice things because they can't pay. So I can't have a moment with my goddaughter on talking about Star
Yeesh.
Trek. Alas. Now here's Kirk saving Spock. He's like, leave me. Like, it's like, man, Kirk can run fast. He runs faster than Lara, like in every
Spock
scene.
is
Like she's
stronger
like-
than Kirk, though. Like this
Yeah,
should have been
I know.
reversed, honestly.
It should have been. It's true. Lava shows up a few times in TG. All good things. That's right. As we see Lava and then Pen Pals. That's right. So yeah, those were the 2 planets. All good things. I forgot about that.
I was thinking about
I
all
like
good
this
things.
shot a lot. I feel like this is the cover for the campaign. Like,
Yeah, put that on the book, on the source.
So
book or whatever.
album cover too.
It
yeah,
is.
it's totally an album cover
What
as
would
well.
be the name of their
Okay, now I have to
band?
make that.
Audience,
Lava
tell us the
lyrics.
name of this band. If you, it's
Yes,
a good idea.
Like
I
the
like that.
The name of the album would be what? Mad Planet
Mad
Yeah.
Planet.
Mad Planet is actually a great album title.
or Soul of the Score.
Yeah,
Dang,
yeah.
that's like a metal album. It's really good. It's
Well,
like-
it looks like that. Yeah.
It does
Yeah.
look like a metal album, actually. It's true. Soul of the Score. It's so good.
By LR Records.
Lava Planet.
Yeah, lava.
Lava.
You
Here
know
we-
I want to have you. You and all your lava.
This is why I thought that T'Char was innocent, because he saved
David
M3
Jones.
Green.
he helped save M in that scene. Yeah.
Oh, M3 Green species returns in Lower Decks also. We see them working at the party in an embarrassment of Duplers, the cool Starfleet party that everyone wanted to
That's
get into.
right. That's right.
And he was like a buff looking. He was like a bouncer version or whatever.
They grew some gumption.
Spines.
in their-
Yeah, exactly.
some
That's
spines.
species diversity. Yeah, he says like you would call us cowards, but apparently like some of them don't fall into the stereotype.
Well, you've got Kazinti and Starfleet, so those that's goes against their stereotype too. So
Yeah.
Right. That's true. And then here they are. They're arriving at the tent.
famous
thing.
silhouettes that they always did, so they need to draw.
Yeah.
anything.
But it works. It makes sense.
No, it does. Yeah, actually, I like the style.
They do a good job of like I guess showing why they needed all these people because like okay like we get why Kirk and Spock are important but they needed Lara's tracking to know like which direction to go and then they needed him to actually like get into the circus tent.
Yeah.
Sword I guess he I don't know helps fight. He's
He's like
Kirk
the
push a rock. He's the muscle. He's the tank.
he's the
muscle.
strong man. Yeah, the
Yeah.
tank. Right. Exactly.
And nice to see they
100%.
had big rocks in this I mean, big rocks are another Star Trek classic.
I mean,
Yeah.
Gotta move big rocks around.
the very first Captain Kirk story is the story of this man's friend turns into a god and then he kills him by dropping a giant rock on him.
Indeed. But yeah, here we have M finally. They get him there safely, and he unlocks it. They get in. Oh, and then they get attacked by the pterodactyl dragon.
Fourth version of whatever this thing is. Yeah.
Right.
The most reused sound effect ever.
Yeah.
Also, there. You're right. Everyone has that. Caligulus had it right. Had them like. Also,
Yep.
It's
like,
always
yeah.
purple. It's always something.
And on
purple.
the What's Upon a Planet.
What's
Some
about a
there, too.
planet? Yeah, that's right.
But each one looks slightly different. It's always
Yeah.
slightly changed.
Yep.
Which I appreciate, but yeah, they're all.
Oh, and
like,
also on what was it the one with the slug people the
Eye of the Beholder.
Eye of the
that's
Beholder.
right.
Yes.
which is the
Kept
last.
saying
episode
Beyond the
we did.
Beholder. I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah.
Is it Eye of the Beholder or the Eye of the Beholder? Because
I
The
think
Eye of the
the
Beholder.
because then there's in another show there's just Eye of the Beholder.
Yes. Anything that's like from the 70s probably will have an article in front of it. So they weren't really good at like just making short, Jihad or whatever.
Our old friend the pterodactyl scream. That's true.
I think it's part of Godzilla's screen in there too.
Oh yeah, it does sound a little bit like it. So many dragons. But here we are. We finally find the soul of Score or Alar. and it's up where they can't really reach it, so they have to climb up and get it. But I was kind of disappointed that Alar didn't speak, like,
Yeah.
or do anything. It was just kind of like, it is a cool looking item, by the way. It's like a ribbony thing. Like, it is very alien and weird looking.
What do you
like
call that
wouldn't have-
ribbon that like twists around and
Mobius.
like a
Oh,
Mobius
Mobius.
strip. Yeah, it's like a bunch of Mobius strips. Yeah, it's
I think
true.
it's like one really complex Mobius strip.
Yeah. I
In my
dig
head
that.
canon, it's sort of like the equivalent of what keeps Vulcans, kind of calm. And so it's like it's not specifically a thought or a speak, but it's just sort of like a presence that helps them.
Oh,
know.
like the vibe. It like sends off a vibe. Oh, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool. That's very interesting. Oh, I love that. That's very good.
And that's why
my
it's
head
gone.
canon
It's sort of
there,
like, like, although you'd hope that by now they would have learned to not be like that naturally, but okay.
It almost kind of feels like a video game object. Like you there's this like this floating, glowing object, and you just like watch up to it. You just walk up to it to acquire it.
Yeah, like Joel said, it's like the soul is on the ground. It's just right there.
Yeah, it's just like sitting there. Like it was like designed for like when the player reaches this part of the game, it's a very obvious place right
But
here.
they're like, oh, we can't get it. I'm like, why are you looking up? It's not. It's right in front of you.
Wait, but wasn't it on this thing here, on this ledge that they're all on? Like, I could have sworn it.
It didn't look like that at first.
No.
The
But then
geography
later
is weird.
was.
The geography of
Yeah.
this building, because they
Right.
do have to like lift up M3 Green to get them up on top of that ledge. But yeah, it doesn't. It's very confusing.
Here, I think in the shot on the right, you can kind of see that it is in fact off the ground.
Yeah.
But like, why did they have to like get on that ledge to walk over
Yeah.
to it? Why couldn't they just like stay on the floor and walk to it? Like we don't
Right, it's
see
true.
the path between the soul and the door that they
Yeah.
come in. So the geography is just very.
This could have been
dubious.
done better as far as This
They
It's
needed
like
more
the
used
end
an
of that-
extra
storyboarding.
background. There's a
Yeah.
missing background that explains
Yeah.
how all this stuff fits together. They didn't have time to draw, I guess.
But yeah, we get the big reveal here that T'Char, Prince T'Char, was behind it all along because he wants to restart the industrial war complex on his planet and bring back the glory days, as it were. So obviously he's a nutburger. So it's like, I love that. The other line that I love is like, Spock, when was the last time you did null gravity training? Just last week with you, sir.
Yeah,
It's like Kirk calling him a slacker. Like that was it, Spock. Like I've
Yeah.
worked out like 10 times since then. What have you been doing?
Also, like, it seems like there wouldn't be a lot of opportunities to do null gravity combat. So why
Yeah.
trade for it so much? It's like, but maybe it's
Maybe we see it. We just don't see it because like
Yeah.
they want to draw it or film it.
Aaron, I remember you pointed out in Strange New Worlds, slight spoiler for season 2, but we do see Spock get in some zero gravity combat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
in Strange New Worlds with the
Yep.
Gorn, and then you
That's
pointed out,
right.
like, oh, he does that again with the Aurelian.
And it actually does like the
Or,
same
oh,
push
sorry, the
off
score,
too, and
the
stuff, which is
score.
kind of interesting. The score, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. He
Here's
does
a
not
good,
look like Spock right there. That's very weird.
And Kirk's just doing tumbles, like he's not even
Yeah.
really fighting. He's just like,
Some of these motion shots, you get a little off model, but
Yeah.
like, real life isn't like a captured still image. Like the real life is fluid in motion. So
I do like the anatomy, like the way the score like is like their anatomy. It's very interesting, like with the hands and the legs and everything. It's very
not really
cool.
sure what his left arm is doing there, but
His left arm?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I see back there. Well, it's kind of like squished
like-
up against the thing
Yeah.
there.
Like up against his, because he has arms and wings and legs.
And I also appreciated that he did make the odds even by saying, like, he's all like, now there's no gravity, now you can fly, like, kind of, so that like they had
Yeah,
even
he wanted it
odds
to be like an airborne fight, which
fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
if there was some type of factionalism, like division between like the Score and the Aurelians, like maybe that, like he has his instinct is to fight other bird people like in the air.
The,
Yeah, that's true.
It's very interesting. They feel more like Klingons of modern day than the Klingons in the 70s on this show felt like. because they have that whole warrior race mentality and
Yeah.
honor and
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Let's see. Areolas. Where are their wings to Shar? That's so funny. Where are their wings? But here we go. Finally, they thwart him and they return this thing. Look like how big
put him in a
it is.
collector's case.
Yeah, they did actually.
Yeah. But they're gonna rehabilitate him. That made it more.
That
Star
made me
Trek
happy.
In the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I
'cause
loved all that.
Star Trek's more about rehabilitation.
Yep. I think we wrote that he goes on to become like a fairly well beloved leader or something like that. I can't remember if that made it in or not.
Oh, good on you guys for doing that. I got to pick that up. It's very cool.
Even if you don't play the game, it's just like kind of that's what I wanted it to be. Like it could also be fun to just read through all the stuff and
This is true. That is one big soul there. The soul of Alar. It's true.
Well, maybe if it's a Mobius strip, maybe it's like tape data storage like we used to. Like, we talk about in Star Trek all the time. There's always like data tapes being erased or stored or whatever. So
I feel like if they had better animation technology, they would have made it like you could see it kind of
like oscillating and moving around.
Yeah, maybe if you did this in live action, you could show like streaks of energy like racing through the strip, like make it feel like there's something going on in there.
I really think we should visit the score again. It would be really neat, and maybe even like visit the soul of Alar during an episode. That might be fun to see. And
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, they have a real big opportunity to do it. So far, the only shows that have brought back avian species are Lord X and Prodigy, right? Like, I don't think we've seen
hard
avian
to do
species.
in live action, but
yeah.
I mean, so we're
less hard
Not
today. I
impossible,
feel
though.
like. Yeah.
I mean, like a live action Gorn is doable. So
I actually
why
thought
not
Star
do
Trek
a
Picard was
score?
going to do something with avian species because those changelings with their masks gave off avian vibes in the beginning. So yeah, but alas, that did not happen.
A lot of that was just messed up in that. Yeah. Anyway,
Jill has a question. So these space wizards are pretty gray, erasing brains all willy nilly.
Yeah, they seem to be like they kind of think of themselves as the moral authority and not not really too worried about it getting approval for many of these.
Where are they when the Q are messing with things? Maybe they are doing stuff. I don't know. Because
we had to
be powerful
relationship with the Q.
Yeah.
We had to write ourselves an out because it's like we couldn't use this in the story because if they forgot everything, no one would know about it. So they just didn't take into consideration Spock's human and Vulcan brain. So that's how he was able to remember. So
very
he wrote
nice.
all the mission reports and stuff.
I like that a lot.
Woo, they're Force ghosts.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
They kind of do look like that. Do you guys think Kirk would have was serious on another situation? He may have been interested in Lara. Or was he just being polite and
I don't know why he shot her down. Maybe if it was like live action and we had like William Shatner's face to read, maybe we would be able to infer.
I don't like your eyebrows.
Maybe he was like just not feeling it. He just like wasn't into her, or maybe he was like there's a time and place.
Yeah, I think it's more of the time and place.
I think he was the time and place, which is again that fits with like our kind of like more detailed understanding of Kirk's Kirk, whereas like the pop culture kind of like flyby is that he's like a bit of a womanizer, but we know that he definitely likes to have fun, but he's also like very very serious. And,
I love when he's just like it's like I have a lot of dream memories, and she's like, oh. Just like it was a really great like line read. I thought it was like
and that term green memories.
It's kind of cool. I mean,
it is kind of cool.
You can use it without it meaning anything specific, so you can fill in the blank. With
that could just mean like new memories. It's like fresh, new green memories.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
For
that's
Saturday morning cartoon, it's appropriate. So that's what works.
Jill saying Kirk was not into her. His expression told me so. So yeah, maybe not. And then 24 minutes. 24 minutes long. 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 24 Sorry, notes. I learned about green memories from the animated series. Yeah, so did I. Anyways, we get Sulu confused about why they beam back 2 minutes later, and then that's it.
Oh,
The
those are two
episode's
separate
over.
pictures. I'm like, is he in front of a PowerPoint presentation?
I know. They are 2 separate pictures, but I thought
Yeah.
the same thing when I put it together. I was like, oh yeah, it looks like
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah,
it looks like a port, like
it's
a
next
port
to, like,
window or
this-
something
the
like
star
that. Yeah.
chart in the transporter room, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's the
Auxiliary
only
control.
he's the only crew member other than Spock and Kirk that's in the and James Doohan
Yeah.
does some other voices. but
Voices.
beyond that, it's just George and Leonard and Bill.
And
Yeah.
and it was interesting. They kept cutting the shots of the Enterprise, but no, I thought that we were gonna have like maybe
On the
one
ship?
scene, on the ship of
Yeah.
the bridge crew,
That
like
is
worried or
when it
whatever.
comes
Yeah,
back from the commercial break, and you have like the establishing shot of the one of their stock shots they frequently use
Yeah.
of the Enterprise. It's like that kind of didn't make sense to put that in there, but okay. It's just like to remind the kids. It's like, oh, this is Star Trek. It's like whenever it comes back from commercial.
Yep, indeed. And that's it. I like leaving on. This is from another episode, but I just love the whole wink. So I was like,
Good one to end on.
Infinite Vulcan.
That was so much fun, you guys. I can't believe 46 minutes just like flew by like nothing. We're almost at an
Yeah.
hour, so we're gonna wrap it up. But audience, if there's anything we left out or you want us to talk about or mention, please do so. But in the meantime, I guess we'll do some closing thoughts. So yeah, just the discussion reaffirmed my my enjoyment of this episode. I'm gonna give this episode an 8. Father's looking at me like, why isn't it a 10?
No, I'm like, I forgot that I had to come up with a rating today.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I'm trying to think of like
We don't. Oh, they're not mandatory. We just. It's a tradition at this point because when I stopped doing ratings, people were like, "No, we want to hear the." People just want to hear me give 10s to things, I guess. So I do them. Just they're informal, just like everything else.
Okay.
So yeah. But Aaron, you go ahead. Go
I know
next.
my-
Some
I
closing
can't
thoughts
like
and a rating.
one of my children better than mine. No, it's not mine actually. So I'm probably like a 7 or 8. It's like it's a fun show to watch with other people. Watching it by yourself is kind of blah. But I think this is great. It's a good thing to have with friends, and you can like maybe if you're playing D&D or something like that, like just throw that on because it's got fun energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it doesn't always make a lot of sense. That's why like it's like it was down for me a little bit just because of, like the logic isn't there. But yeah.
Very cool. What about you, Sub Commander?
If I was thinking logically, I'd probably give it a 5 or a 6, but it's just so fun to be back doing these things again that I'm going to bump it up to 8.5 or something.
Oh,
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Very
yeah,
cool.
no, it was fun to watch. I actually watched this with my wife, who's I think the last time she saw an animated episode was probably when we were in high school 30 years ago or something.
wow.
So yeah, so that was fun. It was just nice seeing the characters and hearing the music and all that kind of thing again.
Very cool. It was fun having you on. So we'll be back.
Yeah.
So it's good. Fathery, what about you? How many whatevers do you give out of whatevers?
I mean, I think like my opening statement is kind of my final thoughts on the episode as well. It's a bit of it's a weird episode of Star Trek, but it's a fun episode of a Saturday morning cartoon. I rate it an M3 green out of 2 billion holy warriors.
Oh my, 200 billion.
200 billion.
Which is a
My
lot.
rating just went down by a factor of 100, I guess.
Do you think they could take out the Sardaukar, the score?
The Sardaukar?
Versus... Yeah.
Probably. I mean, like, I don't know, like,
That's
Dune
very nerdy
technology,
to-
like what the weapons. It's a lot more like hand-to-hand combat in Dune because of like the shields and stuff. So
That's right.
I
That's
don't
true.
know,
That's
yeah.
true.
It would be a jihad for the ages. I don't know.
Very good. Well, thank you, gentlemen. What do you guys have going on? We know what Text Trek is doing, so you can catch Text Trek every Friday. And when the new shows, when Discovery returns, I believe you all are going to be doing a Thursday stream, right, Fathery, as well?
Yeah, we'll be doing Thursday night first reactions and then Friday night deep dive discussions. And we're also gonna try to figure out something with Prodigy when it gets back with Aaron and Drawn to Trek. And it's we'll just be able to confirm things whenever the powers that be confirm when stuff's coming out. But we'll have content coming out pretty much every week for the foreseeable future.
What are our predictions for Prodigy's return?
This year.
No, but
2024.
No, but like, do you think it'll be like August? Like, when do they usually used to drop on? When did it drop on?
It used to be fall, but it's been.
Oh yeah, so I think that's going to be the same. I think that's what they've been kind of like alluding to, like later this year or something like that. So hopefully we'll see it again. We got, let's see here, Sub Commander. Are you doing any podcasting or anything like that other than here? Do you want to talk about?
No, I don't have anything going on like that. I just do my little thing on Twitter /X or whatever you want to call it. And occasional live tweeting and that kind of thing. But no, keeping a fairly low profile. Although, well, maybe I'll keep that off the record. There's something that might be happening. But
something
anyway,
might be happening. Very cool. Very cool.
Right yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Lots of good high ratings in the audience. I think your wife gave it a 6, it looks like, so that's cool.
No, that's what I thought Jill gave it, because there was two legs, 2 wings, 2 feet, or whatever.
Gotcha.
I like Jill's rating of 200 billion lives saved by No Holy War.
Yeah.
So, that was a very big mission accomplished.
That is true.
They did the universe a big solid in this episode.
That's very true. I meant to do this. 8.5 is Jill's like numerical rating, so that's pretty cool too.
Did we get guys, what Aaron is doing? Did we get what Aaron is?
Oh yeah,
no. That's what I was like typing in the chat. I'm like, all right.
We did get what Aaron is doing, but I thought, you know why I got confused? Because Father mentioned Drawn to Trek, and I totally forgot. Sorry, Aaron. What you do?
On the 28th, there's the cover of Picard. Starfleet, or whatever it's called.
The
Picard's Academy.
Yeah, Academy. Sorry, thank you. I did this like 6 months ago, half a year or whatever. So that's coming out on the 28th. I've got currently the Star Trek Adventures module that's for the or a supplement, and this just got reprinted for the 50th anniversary. So that's
very cool. We thought that was a sticker, but it's actually not.
No, it's not.
Very
it's actually
cool.
just embossed, just like this stuff. But yeah. I think there's something else, but I don't remember. But a lot of Star Trek stuff for the animated series just because of the 50th anniversary.
We love seeing your work with Star Trek. We love seeing all your work. We're fans. So it's very cool.
This cover that's coming out I actually really like, because it's a take on those 1930s 40s travel posters from the WPA. So it's San Francisco and a shuttle flying by, the Golden Gate Bridge and all that. So
I think I know.
It's on my Twitter.
Okay, very cool. I thought I saw it. I was like, wait, I know I've seen it somewhere.
You can see that. Yeah, it's not a secret anymore.
Not a secret.
But I am doing. There's another cover coming out. It'll be like maybe August or something like that. But that one I'm not supposed to talk about. So
very cool. Yes, I will have you next time. We'll coordinate a little bit, and we'll have some of your art to show if that's okay with you.
Sure,
that'll be very nice. Very cool. In about 1 hour at 5 p.m. Eastern time, Trek on the Tube, and I come back to streaming, and I'm like going full tilt on it.
Jeez.
But Trek on the Tube and I are going to be streaming about Section 31. So if any of y'all are free, you can hop on that discussion too. But I think he wants to do just me and him. I don't know what kind of bromance we've got going on, but whatever. So we'll see.
But in the chat, I will be listening along.
Excellent. So we'll see you guys there. We'll see you guys next week and on Friday night on Starfleet. So hails the After Dark show. And live long and prosper, everyone. See you next time.